Utah's housing market, will the bubble burst? Are the prices here to stay? This morning, we begin our summer interview series on the Utah Housing Crunch. Interviews with the experts live every Monday through the rest of the summer. Today, we're starting with two realtors in the thick of the market right now. Before we jump into the questions, though, let's take a look at some of the latest numbers. According to UtahRealEstate.com, the median price of a home in Utah, $475,000. That's up 30%, nearly 30% from last May. Homes are only on the market a median of 6 days right now. That's down from 17 last May, and Utah just keeps getting more desirable. We're ranking #1 yet again, housing market for jobs, mortgage rates, and taxes. Here with me to talk about what those numbers feel like on the ground, Mary-Kate Olivas and Candice Rigtrup, both realtors in the market. Ladies, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so just as a little bit more of an introduction, Mary-Kate, you've been in the real estate market 2 years now. You started right before the pandemic.
I was part-time for a while just to kind of dabble my toes in the market, and I had a few clients under my belt, and it was enough time to take it full-time and have fun with it. And sure enough, the pandemic hit 2 weeks later. And you're thriving now. What a journey. Thankfully, yeah. It's been a bit, but I love it. I would do it all over again if I could.
And just in case you recognize Mary-Kate, she worked behind the scenes here for a long time before that. That's how we met.
Yes.
And then Candice, you've been in the industry for almost 20 years now.
I have 18 years. I hate to admit that sometimes,
wild.
But yeah, I've seen a lot of trends come and go, and we're in a very a special place right now with real estate.
I wanted to talk to both of you together because I feel like those two perspectives are just really important for looking at the market right now. I feel like I can't have a conversation with an adult without talking about how crazy the market is right now. What are you seeing on the ground? Do you feel like those numbers are really representative of how challenging it is to buy or sell a home?
Yeah, for me personally, so I work with a lot of first-time home buyers. So it's been a bit of a struggle. They don't have a lot of equity to their name. They're not necessarily selling anything. It's one of those where there's really a lot of awesome programs out there where they can put 0 money down, 3% down. But in this market, it's been a little tough to kind of go through with that.
Find a home to do that with. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like the joke is that people from California are coming in. They're able to sell their California home, come here with cash, and pay well above asking. Candice, are you seeing that?
We are seeing a pretty good influx of individuals coming from outside the state. We've all learned that Utah's a really lovely place to live, and they're coming from higher density areas where they could get some equity out of a home and then put it into something a little bit more affordable here, have a yard and space. So it's maybe not as big of an issue as we locals would like to think it is, but it definitely is a factor for buyers.
So that is one factor. Are there other factors that you're finding are maybe a bigger issue when it comes to finding that right house?
Oh my gosh, just patience and time, and just knowing that you're going to be writing multiple offers before you get a home right now. That's just the fact of the matter.
Well, with homes only on the market for 6 days, it must be challenging for you as realtors when a person finds that right house to say, okay, you got to jump on it. There isn't much of a waiting time.
Yeah, if you get a listing, if one of your clients wants to see a house, that day you're probably writing at least an offer. So to set aside some time in that moment or in that day just to kind of. You need to set some time aside for work and get it done. Right. Yeah.
Interesting. So, what would you say as you're working with clients right now? Some of the top tips to really kind of find those houses that are going to suit them the best.
I would say get with the lender you trust. They'll give you some kind of tips and tricks about how to best spend your money and how to best utilize it to beat out the next offer.
Right. Candice, what would you say? Finding those lenders and finding a realtor, finding that relationship that works for you.
We really love to work relationally. Our clients are our #1, and so oftentimes we work by referral. So, talking to your friends and family who have been through the process before, find out who they've had a good experience with. It's a great way to start.
I love it.
100% get pre-qualified. For buyers, they have to get pre-approved in this market. You've got to be able to just hit the ground running. So that's the best thing that they could possibly do for themselves.
Are there areas in Utah that you're seeing that have just a little bit more give and take? You both work in Salt Lake County mostly, so maybe the answer is no.
Mostly, no. I've been putting in offers for Salt Lake as well as we were as far out as Stansbury Park, Tooele, and we were still on offer 9 or 10 the other day. So no, not as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really is. It is what it is right now. The secret's out. Utah's a great place to live.
Yeah, exactly.
Any last-minute tips we have before we have to go?
Like you said, patience and perseverance, and you'll get there.
I'd say start wide with your search too. It's more a process of elimination. So start with a really broad search, and then as you get out and look at homes, kind of narrow it into what really fits for you.
Got it. Give yourself the time, give yourself the space to do it.
Yep, exactly.
Candice and Mary Kate, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We're going to have links to lots of help that these ladies mentioned and to their personal information as well on our website, abc4.com/GMU. Don't forget, we're doing these housing market interviews every Monday morning on ABC4.